Hello, everyone, and welcome to the fifth episode, right, of Movie Club?
It's fifth of sixth, somewhere along those lines.
I think it's fifth.
Okay.
It's off by. It's at least off by one.
Right. Who
Um,
knows? The numbers are just a figment of our imagination.
Sixth Movie Club.
See, you're off by one, you son of a bitch.
The sixth Movie Club. And this one, normally, I don't take super close notes.
Mm-hmm.
But because the two movies that we watched are very similar in a sense, in the the topic.
Mm-hmm.
I jotted down notes for both of them,
Oh, wow.
and I'll tell you what, the notes that I have for the old movie, because I could stop it and watch it and go back to stuff, are much more detailed and intense
Then you
than the new movie.
I could see why. So, before we get into the movie club stuff, I think we have some general story stuff we want to get into. So, the top story I think that we need to talk about. So Soulja Boy keeps coming up in the news again. And I have a quote that I would love to read to you and the audience, AJ.
Go for it.
This is from NintendoEnthusiast.com. Here is their actual line. Yeah, man, I'm the original creator of the NES, said Boy. I launched the NES myself, and Nintendo stole my name to call their company the same name. I also developed Zelda and Mario and all those games.
So hold on. Soulja Boy is... Hold on. Wikipedia.
Remember
He's 28 years old.
What you want?
He could not have done the NES.
Let me rephrase this to you. Yes,
he was
yeah, man, I'm the original creator of the NES. What is not clear?
I mean, like, it came out in what, 85? So it was 5 years old.
He is a fucking genius. Do you not see his consoles? Did you also hear on his new song, he samples Zelda theme songs?
Well, so hold on. His picture on Wikipedia is at an interview with Bandai Namco at
At
E3.
E3 2018. I can't even process that. I see the same thing.
So I'm trying to figure out.
Why the fuck he was at E3?
Yeah. Acting career.
Who the hell hired him?
He released his own cartoon, but only one episode was ever released. He signed a deal with World Poker Fund Holdings for 5 years.
Okay.
Soulja said of the deal, I enjoy music and of course gaming. Being an influencer is a form of currency. He initially tweeted that the deal was for $400 million. However, that is the cap for the contract and not his payment from the company.
I was gonna say, does he mean US dollars? No.
World Poker Fund is a builder and operator of online and event-based social gaming platforms and imprints.
I can't even process all of what you're saying to me right now.
Like, I understand I'm not totally with all the current, like, memes and stuff like that, and influencers and all that. I'm pretty sure I would have heard of Soulja Boy. His official YouTube channel has accumulated over 420 million views and over 770,000 subscribers.
I bet how much? What percentage do you think is just solely because of Crank That?
So, time to find out.
Like I'm betting you it's like 80%.
383 million views of that
Okay.
are from Crank That.
How many did you say total? Roughly.
420 million. So hold on. I can go to his about. Oh no, he's got 1.4 billion views.
So it's still a quarter. Roughly.
Hold on, let me just go to his videos. So he's got 384 million on Crank That. He's got 200 million on Kiss Me Through the Phone, which I do remember that song.
But like, it does not have the same impact as Crank That. Nothing had the same impact as Crank That.
Yeah.
Come on, we all remember Soup Man a Ho.
Let's see.
Why you Crank That? Why you will?
I mean, he's got a lot of videos at like the 15 to 40 million view
Really?
mark. Yeah.
Is he way bigger and still than I would think he would be?
No, because let's see. His newest video is from 8 years ago
Okay.
on the music side.
That's why I'm like in my head. I'm like, is he objective? Like I'm like, there's no way.
He started uploading stuff on his own channel, like his own, not through the music side. Because like, you know how YouTube now, like, artists have like their specific music sections. So his just channel uploads. He's been uploading, looks like, a couple a week, 2 a week for the past month. And the most views he's gotten is from a month ago at 578,000.
Interesting. So what we're saying is, you don't believe he created the NES.
No. He's got 2.
Bruh. This article
What?
references, but wasn't he born in 1990? When we pointed out the original Famicom launch in Japan in 1983, 7 years before Sojo was born, he quickly said that the question was, are you ready for this one? A fake, a news. Ugh.
Of course he
I can't stand you would stoop so low as to bring this bullshit alternative facts here, he said. That thing about the Famicom launch in the 80s, that clear fake news. I made the NES fair and square. You can't change the facts. This is why websites that supposed to call themselves news like enthusiasts suck so much. While reading lawsuit files, we also discovered that Soulja Boy is currently suing the Pokemon Company, claiming that he caught all the Pokemon first, and thus owns the rights to all of them.
Because, that's how that works.
It's great.
I'm looking, he's got, apparently he released 2 Taiga disses.
2? Is Taiga,
Yeah.
Isn't Taiga the Jenner boy? Like, isn't he fucking a Jenner?
I think everybody's fucking a Jenner. Let's see. I don't know, is he?
Taiga. Right?
Tyga.
Yeah, Taiga is...
It doesn't, like, his Wikipedia thing doesn't say.
I swear to God.
It says he's signed on Good Music, which would be Kanye's.
Oh, it was Black China is who he's with. And then I thought
Oh.
he cheated on someone.
Hold on.
I thought you cheat. Oh, got it.
What?
Tyga is with Kylie Jenner, and he cheated on Kylie
Kylie?
Jenner with when he was with Black China,
Gotcha.
who is also, for the record, the world's youngest billionaire ever, by the way.
Also, I like how she's being called a self-made billionaire.
Which, oh, and see, this is what.
She's not.
But I might argue there's some level of she somewhat is, in the sense of she started with $5 million.
Also, it's not like she doesn't have a brand that has made $1 billion.
Her brand has made, it was like 800 million or something. I rather didn't even know. I was like, what?
She is worth $1 billion.
Isn't that what the definition of a billionaire is? Is that you're worth it? I thought.
Yes and no.
My understanding was it was just what you're worth.
Normally, it's where there's smoke, there's fire. If you're a billionaire, it's because you've made $1 billion.
Okay.
You know, so like the interesting thing also about this is, did you hear about how Trump could be sued for falsifying his net worth when he tried to buy the bills?
Yeah. There's some irony in that one.
The similarities between Soulja Boy's it just
Insanity.
assurance that he invented the NES, Ray J's current insanity, and Donald Trump's insanity is very shocking yet kind of apparent. Like, they're all weirdly the same person if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Just different stages.
So what you're telling me is Soulja Boy 2028.
Oh, dear God, no, please.
Just think about it. Just in your head, just picture that country.
Can I not?
No? I'm sorry.
Also, Tyga's wanted.
For what?
He missed a court hearing, so he's got a warrant out.
Tisk. God.
Such is the life of a hip-hop star.
Is that what you're gonna call him?
Tyga?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, he's more of a star than I am. Like,
That's true. But AJ, that's not that high of a bar.
no.
So, before we get into movie color, I have one more thing I want to talk about, which I'm curious what you think of. What is your opinion now that E3 is now being flushed down a toilet really quick?
I'm not surprised it's happened.
But it feels like it's like I know it's been happening, but I feel like this year is like EA's not.
It's happening.
Right. It's not like years past. Like it's happening. This year we're like Sony went, we're not going. EA going, we're not having a press conference. Like it's like oh.
So they're not even having a play.
No, they're having a play, but they're saying no
Conference.
press conference. No conference. They're just saying.
So
we're just
I
here.
wonder if they're doing a direct style video.
But the way they're phrasing it, to me, I'm reading it as they're doing nothing, and that was what like even like when I read like Jason Schreier was reading it as the same way. It's like they're like it sounds like they're just there, like it's not saying they won't be on like Xbox's stage, but like they're not doing a thing.
Yeah. I just feel like there's no way
You'd show up.
you'd show up to E3 without like a sizzle reel.
Unless you do on Xbox's stage and they go, here's your 5-minute EA quarter, have a good day.
I don't know. It just feels weird because you know EA Play is just going to be all the influencers again. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's pretty obvious what EA Play has become.
Which I think that's probably why they're like, it's not worth doing because think about it. Especially now that Anthem is out, what the hell would EA show? Dragon Age is not worth going there. If you're showing Dragon Age, I'm going on Xbox's stage. Like, I'm not going to show Dragon Age on my conference.
You've got Dragon Age,
And
you've got
sports.
FIFA,
But okay, FIFA.
Madden.
I don't think you need to show FIFA. I'm going to just go to the controversial. Sports games you don't need to show. Everyone just knows they're there.
No, but there's a whole side of, well,
No.
obviously the international side
Oh no
for
no
FIFA.
no! People
But,
love
like-
it, but people. The point
Yeah.
is though, the people who love it are gonna buy it. I don't need to tell them about jack shit.
But they do every year. Like,
Right.
there's been very few changes, but they still show it. The thing of it is, right, like with all these, like I said, with the way EA Play is now, it's just influencers shooting their videos and, EA handing them footage. There's got to be something that EA is handing to these people
hmm
that they're pulling from
But they could
to
just
cut their
right.
EA thing.
But they
from.
could just be like dropping stuff. Like I'm not saying they're not dropping anything, but like think about like there's so many games that just drop trailers at E3 that just aren't on show floors or whatever. Or they're show floors,
Well,
but on stages.
You've got to imagine, though, that there's a Star Wars coming out.
Oof. No, but here again, why don't I show this other places?
Because it's Star Wars. Why would you give anybody, like, why would you give them the chance to overshadow your Star Wars announcement? Like, that's EA's big thing is, well, I imagine it's going to be Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
It's either Star Wars or, well, it's not Battlefield. Whatever their shooter would be, their multiplayer shooter.
It's for
Um,
sure. Unless you have the room, they said something Titanfall is dropping this year that's not Apex. So
Well, Titanfall 3's canceled.
but they said something that was during their public investor hearing. They said something Titanfall will drop this year. And that was post Apex. And that was during the
Yeah.
same call they said Titanfall 3 is not a thing. So
I have to imagine whatever it is, it's not going to be a full scale.
no, that's probably true. But I'm curious, like the people we've been talking about, like, do you think it's just AB the original Titanfall, like something stupid like that? But
A Titanfall remaster would be interesting.
like just on PlayStation, like we're not saying remaster, or you know what I'm gonna say, Titanfall 2 on Switch. If I could run Doom on that sucker, I could run Titanfall 2 on it.
I don't think it's the issue of can it run. I think it's the issue of I don't know if there's a control scheme that would work.
Maybe. That could be.
Like at least with Doom, Doom is a pretty standard FPS control scheme.
Mm-hmm.
So, it wouldn't be super hard. Titanfall is very, like, it's a Twitch shooter that also needs Twitch, like, handling.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just sensitivity, it's, you need, and obviously, like, the Pro Controller is set up like a standard controller,
Right.
but I don't know if I would want Titanfall portable.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But again, but like, when I agree with you that. See, here's my other theory though: is it could be like a random team they just contract out to make a Titanfall thing too.
yeah.
Like you could get someone like we still have the weird thing of like Bluepoint said they're working on something that is not a remaster, and I'm like, we still don't know what that is. And I'm not saying it is them, but like, you have those weird teams out there of like, we're working on stuff, and they won't say what.
Yeah.
So it gets become this fun game.
Who knows?
Who knows? Okay. So RJ, I saw the movie about the female that made Rotten Tomatoes change the review scores the other day. So I figured we talk about that for a few.
So I saw that story, and I'm honestly surprised it hadn't been done sooner.
Oh, it is. I agree with you. But I'm just saying, this goes on the list of like how Amy Schumer made Netflix change their ratings. Brie Larson now made Rotten Tomatoes change their ratings.
So I don't know if necessarily Captain Marvel made them change the ratings. I think it's more of
Their statement,
they wanted to change the
and then this was
ratings.
the linchpin. Linchpin.
This was the scapegoat that they could put it on.
Maybe, and I'll give you that one, but I just put it on the same list of insanity.
Well, nobody likes Schumer stuff anyway, so
That's true. So Captain Marvel, how much are you going to see this movie?
very little.
So I could just say what I want?
Yeah.
Okay, spoilers for Captain Marvel. Okay,
It doesn't matter anyway, it's a prequel, and you've probably seen a lot of what they're gonna explore in the trailer.
probably, and this way gets interesting. So, a couple things with it. So you know how Marvel, I don't know if you know this, does their whole, like, when you see a Marvel movie, they redid their intro to 3D starting a couple movies ago?
So I haven't seen a Marvel movie in 3D.
Not 3D, like their whole intro sequence of when they show the Marvel logo is like they kind of pop it where it's the actual, it's like embezzled text, and like they do videos in the text that says Marvel.
Oh, yeah, and then they pop out for the Marvel
Yes,
10,
yes,
even though that was
exactly.
2 years ago.
So,
I don't know why they still do the 10. Like, it was over.
so this is where it gets cool. This is where I think it's cool. They redid the entire thing with just all of Stan Lee's cameos.
Makes sense.
You know, it makes sense, but I think it was a cool way of like, hey, and then it goes to black. It says thank you, Stan, and like it's this cool, like it's, I know your opinion, but like it's this cool thing of like, hey, at least there's a cool way to kind of like engrave them in your movies.
So, how long until that's no longer part of the
I give it.
intro?
I bet you it's next year or two. It's in that intro. Because it makes sense.
Yeah. Well, I guess let's see. They've been doing the 10-year thing for
2 years.
what? 2 years after the 10-year anniversary?
Yeah.
Or no,
Yeah.
the first Iron Man was 2008. So
Yeah, so 1 year.
I guess this would be the. This is only one.
This is the
year
first
out.
one out of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, so here's the cool shtick. So Stan Lee, when you see him, he's on a bus he's reading a thing. He's reading the Mallrats script, is what he's reading. Would you know, Harley, if Kevin Smith didn't know
Well-
that was a thing, he was screaming his ass off when he saw it.
Because isn't Captain Marvel like
95, which is about when Mallrats came. Mallrats came out like 96.
so
It
it
makes
would
a lot
make
of sense.
sense.
But it's a cool little like, hey, it's in the world touch. And that officially means the Askew universe is part of the MCU. And
At this point, everything is part of the
Right.
MCU.
so, but back to the actual movie. So I think it's not a
Hold on, but before you get into it, is
Okay.
this just a stock Marvel movie?
defined stock.
Like, do you know exactly what's gonna happen?
No, I'm gonna argue no.
Okay, good. So it's not like Ant-Man or Black Panther
I think you
or
could piece together like she's gonna win, but like it's not stock in the sense of like how a lot of the stuff goes.
okay. Because if it was just another cookie cutter Marvel movie, then my interest in seeing it would be absolutely zero.
I think it's not cookie cutter in a few ways. So I think the first 30 minutes of this movie are atrocious. I'm gonna put this out there. I don't understand who is in charge of pacing on this film. So you know, like, so Infinity War, for example, does like the cold open and it's straight into action.
Yeah.
And the reason that works for people is because they know who the characters are. So imagine doing that scene and never introducing any of those characters before. Like that was the start of your movie in which you're like, who? That's about how this
Okay,
movie goes.
I'm looking at your comments about the movie,
Yeah.
and I'm seeing that now because your formatting is weird. Like, you do it all, it's a run-on sentence for the entire thing.
Oops.
So this is Mike's comment to me about Captain Marvel. I'm going to read it there's no punctuation, so I'm just going to read it. Back half is fine. The front 30 minutes, Mad Avengers 2 feel like a great movie.
So what I mean by that is, back half's fine. So
I was going to say, now that you said it, okay, I'm parsing out. Back half is fine.
yeah.
Okay, so the last 60 minutes of it are
60 to
good.
even like the middle, like
Are decent.
yeah, and then like 30 is fine. But like the first 30, it feels like so Avengers 2 did like the whole cold open of like you're attacking the thing, and that's when they go through the nightmares. And Avengers 2 opening, I think, is a cool idea, and it didn't. I think if Infinity War did it correctly.
You mean Avengers 2 would have been in Age of Ultron,
Yeah, exactly. So Avengers 2 is
not Infinity
no,
War.
I know. Infinity War does it correctly. Age of Ultron does not. Age of Ultron does
Okay.
they're raiding this castle, and that's where you meet like Scarlet Witch and stuff the first time immediately, and it
Yeah.
doesn't make sense because you have no context for what you're doing. This feels like that, but truly knowing none of the characters, because it's literally like they're doing a raid, and then you're in space, and you don't understand who Captain Marvel
So
is.
Justice League.
Kinda, yeah.
Okay.
And that's where I'm like, this makes no sense in that sense. I think Sam Jackson and Brie Larson are amazing together. Like straight, like they have chemistry.
Both of them can act with a mop and make a great movie.
That's what I mean. Also, you do learn what happens to Sam Jackson's eye in this movie.
Is it comic book stupid?
Yeah,
Okay.
like trust me. Of the list of they make a point of like it's a running gag that stuff happens to his eye throughout the movie, and the thing that actually makes his eye like not work anymore is comic book stupid.
So it's like 22 Jump Street, where they're driving and they thought, man, I thought that would have blown up.
Yeah,
That scene?
it's over like multiple scenes, but yes, it's the same type.
It
Which I don't per se mind that on paper, but it all depends on execution. It works because it's Sam Jackson, but it shouldn't work.
Yeah. Here's the problem I have with Marvel movies.
Okay.
And I think we can probably wrap up Captain Marvel so we can get into the first movie once I'm done with my mini rant. Marvel movies are too. I'm trying to think of the proper way to phrase this. Like, because there's so much source material,
Mm.
and I don't give a shit about any of it,
Mm.
it's too, like, they can jump around too much.
Mm.
Like, and I don't know if they are, but they could easily go, oh, well, we're going to take this run of Iron Man and then this separate run of Captain America and this version of the Civil War and, you know, this and that. Like, for I'm trying to think of another one that I had no interest in. I mean, Batman, the Chris Nolan Batman did it right, but that's more because he took out the comic book bullshit.
And that's true. He did. I think that's part of like people really like about him is it inherently is not. It is comic booky, but it's not. It's grounded comic booky.
There's really no comic book in it if you think about
But
it.
I'd argue it totally. If you want to argue on isolation, it totally is comic booky and it feels, but it makes sense why it does.
Yeah, but like the Joker is a humanized Joker. Bane is a humanized Bane. Like, really, the only weird one is Ra's al Ghul,
And it gets real weird.
and it gets real weird. But they kind of explain it in the first one about why he's seen him. But other than that, like, everything's grounded. Like, even Batman is grounded. Like, he's got wear and tear.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He's not just comic book Batman that can take, a million punches and walk up like nothing's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why we watched The Accountant the other weekend. Ben Affleck is so good in it, and I really wanted to see, I wanted to see Dark Knight Returns because that's one of the actual comic books that I read.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to see Ben Affleck in that role.
Ben Affleck, I'm gonna say with Ben Affleck could have been an amazing Batman. I don't know if he's a bad Batman. I'm gonna say it also, but I think he really could have been an amazing one.
His Batman that he did for Justice League was not good.
But it wasn't. He's not close. He of the list of Batmans, he is on the upper half of that list, for sure.
Well, how many Batman have there been? Adam West,
I want to say 8 without even thinking
Val
about
Kilmer, George Clooney,
it.
Christian Bale,
Uh,
and
Did you get? So you said
Ben Affleck, right?
I have them. Adam West,
Keaton.
Affleck, Clooney, Kilmer.
And Bale.
Also apparently of Robert Loy and Lewis Wilson was
Were they live action or voices?
live action 1943 and 1949.
Okay, I don't include them.
I know Adam West is really the earliest anyone action.
Adam West is the first Batman.
Which is, I just find that ironic that like people consider him that when he really isn't.
I mean,
I understand why you do, but you admit there's some ironic funniness
there's
to the sense of we don't.
yeah. Like
I think
Chris Hemsworth is not the original Thor, but we consider him Thor.
no, but that's true. But we don't. But the difference is we call Adam West the original. We call him the original. We don't call Thor the original Thor. We just call him Thor. Like we actively give Adam West the title of original. We actively give him that title.
Well, were the ones from the 40s movies or were they TV shows?
Adam West was TV show.
Yeah, Adam West was a TV show, and I think that's why people consider him to be the
I
original
thought
Batman.
the 40s. It was a serial. It says, which means TV.
Yeah, and it probably wasn't very long,
Oh.
if I had to imagine.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But also, let's be honest. None of these are the true best Batman, so it's fine.
Okay, so Adam West, Kilmer. No, Adam West, Keaton, Kilmer, Clooney, Bale, Affleck. I believe in that order.
Wait. You think Affleck's the worst?
No, that was them in chronological
Oh,
order.
I thought that was your order. I was like, we need to talk, boy.
No, Clooney is by far the worst.
Okay.
Then Kilmer. Then Affleck. Then West. Then Keaton. Then Bale.
Bale is my number one for sure. I don't.
I understand the love for Keaton's Batman,
I don't though, and I don't know if I do.
but I personally enjoy Bale's Batman better.
Yeah. But I was gonna say, we all know Kevin Conroy is the greatest Batman of all time,
Well, I wasn't including the
obviously. But I mean, if we include
The
them,
voices,
Kevin
but yeah.
Conroy is number one.
Did Troy Baker ever do a Batman?
Yes, he was.
I know he did a Joker.
He was. Did he then? No, he.
Was he Returns?
Oh no, Troy Baker was Telltale. So is Troy Baker the only person to do a Batman and a Joker?
Well, I guess Mark Hamill would be.
He's never done a Batman. I'm saying Troy Baker has done Batman and Joker,
Yeah.
which is a weird.
I would imagine.
Because I'm trying to think legitimately when someone else would have.
Who did the Arkham series?
Conroy.
Was that Nolan?
Conroy besides Origins was Baker. Oh, you're talking about for Joker? Joker was Mark Hamill.
No. So Conroy was the Arkham.
Origins.
Batman.
No,
like the Arkham series.
Yes. It was the original cast. It was Mark Hamill was Joker. Yeah. Like they got the reason part of why that sticks is
It was the Batman Beyond cast, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Which
Not Beyond cast. You mean animated series?
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. You want to see why I was scarred as a kid? Watch the intro to Batman Beyond.
That is a weird intro.
And then imagine like a 3 or 4 year old me watching Batman, and it's a super dark version of Batman. Like, and I have the complete Adam West series.
Really?
Yeah, so I would watch that as a kid while also watching Beyond. And you want to talk about two completely different Batman.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. That'll wrap up our superhero discussion, I believe.
Superhero. Okay. Well, speaking of superheroes, though.
Our superhero discussion.
Hey, we're about to talk about superheroes.
These are superheroes.
Which one do you want to start with? Because they both are fucking bags upon bags.
Well, why don't we start with the new
Okay.
one? Because then after the break we can talk about the old one, because that requires, I think, a deeper dive.
So, Fighting with My Family, presented by WWE.
And $7 and like 18 different production houses.
Yeah, because when The Rock is in a movie, he has to be part of it. Because he wants the second
Yeah.
credit to make more money. That's why he does it. That's why anyone does that.
There's many reasons why he does
But a
it.
good chunk of it is you make more money if all of a sudden you have multiple lines because according to rules.
No, well, yes and no. As a producer, he gets a cut of sales.
Right, and he also stars in it.
Yeah. So his starring contract will be probably for box office.
Right.
And then his producer contract will be for any movie it makes, or any money,
Mm-hmm. It makes post.
it makes home release. Which I have to imagine it will be on the network.
Yeah. Well, I assume they probably in the back end have to account some level of making money based on subscriptions and percentages and view time. Or at least The Rock will make
Yeah.
sure it does. If they don't, because he's smart. So, first off, The Rock was in this movie about twice as long as I thought he would be in this movie. I thought there was gonna be the one scene of the trailer and that's it. He was in that movie for a second scene.
He probably should have only been in for that first scene,
I don't know,
if we're being honest.
but the second scene was like a cool, like I know it's fake, but it was a cool thing. Oh yeah, spoilers by the way.
Well, I don't know how that all went down, if he was actually the one who called them.
Which that's possible, but it makes it feel like he has a bigger influence in it.
Yeah.
Also, I do appreciate him calling Vince Vaughn point tape, sex tape.
Yeah, when he said that, I was thinking,
And then he explains why.
because Vince Vaughn's character is a fictionalized talent producer.
Mm-hmm.
So when he said that, I was thinking through my head, okay, which of the producers around that time
Would be.
would have been in the news for a sex tape?
And then he explained why, and I'm like, oh my god,
Yeah.
because he makes people famous. To be fair, corny line, but I enjoyed the line.
Yeah. Well, it was a Rock line. What do you expect?
true.
The guy's built billions of dollars upon.
Can you
Cheesy
smell
one-liners.
what the Rock's cooking? Yeah. Also, I do like his whole when they meet him for the first time, like his whole like when he switches into the Rock moment. That's a cool moment.
Yeah. Yeah. Dwayne does a really good job of separating
Even in mid acting of like separating the Rock from Dwayne the Johnson,
his personalities.
which I bet you as a wrestler is a lot harder than it feels like it is. Just knowing like naturally, making it feel natural. Let me phrase it like the transition part.
Well, I mean, he distinctly says, right, you take you and turn yourself up to 120%.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it wouldn't be that hard if you're naturally charismatic.
But the thing is, though, and that's why I think the line is, and that's why we don't always hear wrestlers talk about it, and we'll get into the second movie, is like, yes, you can be actually charismatic, but like, there's a difference between being charismatic in a group and charismatic like in a giant group. And like, this movie showed him doing the switch, like, and not making it feel like a switch.
Yeah. Well, okay, so let's see who else, like, who's a good example of the complete opposite? Sasha Banks.
Yeah.
Like, she has zero charisma whatsoever naturally, and
But I feel
then
like
it comes across.
Part of her, and this gonna, I know they made a gimmick out of it, which is ironic, but I feel like part of her gimmick is like the klutzier person.
I don't know if it's necessarily the klutz, but it's definitely like her personality is, you know, the character that Paige was, right, when she first meets The Rock. When her and her brother meet The Rock and they just geek out.
So we need to talk about some stuff with this movie.
That's Sasha Banks.
All the time.
24/7.
So part of this movie, which I think is where my issue starts to fall when it is, and I understand there's the limit of how realistic you can be for dramatization purposes. There's little stuff this movie does, like they don't mention like how she actually failed her first audition, or like, so I.
Which, if they did, that would have been a really
Cool,
good.
right, that could have been the cool comeback story to prove she has.
Yeah, that would have been the good
drive.
redemption.
Right. Also, another thing to me, which I think is sad, is she was in NXT with the girls we all know now. Why
Yeah.
the hell do we at least not? You know, it'd been cool. Even if it's not the girls she trained with, like, show them in the background. Like, be like, huh, I think that's Sasha Banks, or I think that's Bailey, or I think that's Charlotte Flair. Like, make it feel like they're there, even if it's not the girls you focus on.
The way that when they visit SmackDown, that's clearly AJ Styles working in the ring.
But like, you could have done this
which
in the
he
training
wasn't
rings.
in the WWE.
Or like even
Yeah,
during
like-
they did the things of like the montages. That's when you showed
Yeah.
the girls in some form, because we'd recognize a version of them.
Yeah. Well, what would be interesting to see is, so NXT didn't start at the Performance Center.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 'cause I didn't.
It was a kind of like traveling show, because it's Florida South wrestling. So they did that where they would take it, you know, to a place and film, you know, not film, but, you know, run through the show. And everybody there knew that it was developmental, so they knew what to expect.
Yeah.
So maybe you wouldn't have seen Sasha
Okay.
and Charlotte and Bailey, because they would have been training, because they were really the first
They were the first, but like,
group
to put in perspective, and I was looking this up after,
at Full Sail.
like stuff like Sasha Banks. I think it was Sasha. One of the girls like tried to, because Paige was the NXT champ, which they also don't talk about.
Yeah.
And they challenged her for the championship belt before she went on for the first time. So like, they're at least involved with her in some capacity. Also, you should have fucking mentioned she was the NXT champ.
Yeah.
Like
This
that's so
like,
stupid.
this movie had weird pacing
It
issues.
had weird decision. Like that's a weird creative decision of like, she could still be the underdog and still be the NXT champ. Especially back then, the NXT championship meant nothing.
Yeah. And like, I get the whole point of the movie was to get to the Monday Night Raw debut. And if that was the case, then I guess they kind of did the right thing of just glossing over NXT.
But like, to get to the Raw thing was the last 2 seconds of the movie, and that's what I don't. That's
Right.
what wouldn't make sense to me. Is like, if you put that in and you had something after it, I would agree with you a lot more.
Yeah. Yeah, like, but, yeah, if it was building to the Raw debut and then it showed her
In the aftermath,
run, yeah, what they did was right.
but it didn't.
The fact that they cut off as she wins the title.
Do you know? To me, would have been
Effectively.
a cool thing to like segue at the end of that film, even to add like 10 minutes. What if you did a montage of actual Paige post that moment up until she was like SmackDown commish? Like that'd been like a cool like, here she still is. Look how much she's grown.
Yeah.
Like you'd be like you want to like so point at that point you're celebrating her. Like there's your celebration moment. Also, that final wrestling match should have just been the actual match.
So here's what I think. The reason that they used Zelina Vega for it, and the reason they didn't show the original match. With the way AJ Lee and CM Punk left,
But don't they own the
would
rights?
there be a lawsuit?
But don't they own the rights to it?
Not necessarily.
So what do you think? They own the TV and streaming rights to it, but not the theater rights to it?
I wonder if it's a
Because they own the tapings.
there's got to be a sticky subject there, like
They again, they,
a reason they didn't
a
do
lot
it.
of those contracts state stuff like you can only do it in certain mediums. So like stuff like, hey, you can only do it on TV and streaming. It might be something like, and theater's not in your contract. I'm not going to get AJ Lee to sign a thing.
Yeah, and yeah, they would need to license
Of her likeness.
her again, and that's probably not the smartest idea.
Mm-hmm.
Because even if you got through to them to talk to them,
Mm-hmm.
it would be a resounding no.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm genuinely curious how much Vince impacted this movie.
How do you think them?
I mean, it's got WWE's name on it.
But like, what do you like from a decision point of view? I mean,
Well, from all accounts, anything with a WWE name on it, Vince has to give the go-ahead to.
mm-hmm.
So I have to imagine they approached him about the situation.
And he went, does she got...
Like, hey, we want to remake this documentary, basically,
Which is
but fictionalize
which is
it.
so weird.
Which,
Because in
okay.
the end, you see the documentary footage, you're like, oh
Yeah,
my god.
the fact that they even used the documentary is weird, because it's like, then why didn't you just put that out?
Also,
You know,
another
like-
thing is, when you realize they use the beautiful versions of the actors were the beautiful version of that family.
Yeah.
That terrified me to shit.
Yeah, her dad is not exactly a looker.
Neither is her mom. Her dad especially. Her dad,
Well-
when he explains how he was arrested, made a lot more sense seeing the actual dad.
Yeah. I mean, her mom isn't too far off
But her,
in the movie versus what she
her
looks
dad,
like.
though,
But her dad is like 300 pounds heavier in real life.
it looks way more like he's gonna kill you.
Yeah. I mean, Nick Frost did a pretty good job.
Mm-hmm.
I almost feel like, though, this was a movie, like, this felt like an Adam Sandler movie. Just hear me out.
Okay.
In the sense that Stephen Merchant wrote it.
That is so weird. Every time I see it, I go, that's Stephen Merchant.
Yeah. The Rock produced it.
Mm-hmm.
And WWE's behind it, which that is fine. Like, it's for the branding stuff. But, so Stephen Merchant wrote it. So he's obviously going to want to cast his friends. Like, there's a reason Nick Frost is the guy playing him.
Mm-hmm.
And not some... They could have gone out of their way and
I also
found...
like how Stephen Merchant
somebody
was
else.
in the film. When I first saw that, I was like, hey, that's a good
Yeah.
film.
Which he does that for all his movies. He's always in them.
But also, I'm gonna say it, the thing when you meet Stephen Merchant and his wife, and it's the dinner scene, is a funny ass scene.
Oh, that scene's
The
hilarious.
scene is so fucking great. When they start fucking like going at it at the kitchen table.
Yeah. Let's see. What else do I have? We've already talked about how Zelina Vega is definitely not AJ Lee. We've talked about the weird skip over her NXT run. My thought on how the actress for Paige was a little uncanny valley.
She was fine. I
think you-
I disagree with you on it.
I think it's more like Paige has always had a fairly toned face.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not sickly toned. But, like, you've always seen, like, defined cheeks and, like, you know, her facial features have been noticeable her entire career.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the actress they chose, it was, like, you know, every other actress, right? Like, she had smooth cheeks.
But like little, so
Like,
my thing with Paige is and this is where I think we completely fall flat. I think she does not pass as Paige in which she's playing Paige. I think she would pass if the movie was about Paige now. She'd pass 1,000 times better.
no.
I think so.
Like, the actress and Paige now?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Because if there's little stuff like Paige was
Eh.
anorexic back then, and like, and you like I know you didn't
Yeah.
show it, but like there's little stuff like that. I go, it just doesn't like if you see her next to Paige, like it just doesn't fit.
Yeah, I guess Paige is. Yeah.
Paige is probably legitimately 60 pounds heavier now, and that's not inherently a bad thing. But
Oh,
like,
easily.
the point is like, she fits that Paige way more than she fits like Paige when she
Yeah.
was like this twig.
Well, yeah, that's why it's Uncanny Valley is. They're trying, but she didn't try hard enough.
Also, that
Like, which is a weird thing to say, but
I have another question for you, and you might have known about this kid, the blind kid.
oh yeah, he legitimately became a wrestler in the UK, and it's a hilarious story.
Like, what the fuck?
Like, it's not a hilarious story because he's a blind kid that becomes a wrestler.
That is-
It's just the situation around it is
I,
hilarious.
when they said, and this kid is still wrestling, I was like, what?
Yeah, I mean, he's very gimmick wrestler, and
You have to be.
which is obvious because he's blind. But his matches are actually kind of cool to watch because they're very choreographed.
Yeah.
So it's less a match and more of almost a dance. I don't know if he's like in 2019 still wrestling.
But that's very interesting.
But you can definitely go back and find some of his matches, and they're not very fluid. Like, they're not some of the, you know, PWG matches that are very choreographed and, you know, they know what spot goes into what, into what, into what. But his matches are much more of a dance than I think any other match you're probably going to watch from the UK. Because a lot of the UK matches are just like that you guys go at each other and beat the shit out of each other, and then that's the match. Like, look at Walter in NXT UK. His entire gimmick is that he has a chop that basically kills you. And if you don't believe me, just go to YouTube and search Walter chop. And there's got to be a montage of that guy. It's ridiculous. He cut somebody open on one of the NXT UK shows recently.
Really?
Yeah. Like, when he hits his full chop, like,
Must.
let's go a little behind the curtains, which is perfect because fighting with my family, one of my other notes, is it felt way too smarky
Yeah. It feels British.
in a way
It
of
feels very
like,
British.
yeah, like the audience it's searching for, right? The vast majority know what these terms mean. But like, if somebody just went into that movie having no idea really anything about wrestling, they almost never explain what they mean. I think the only thing they explain is the receipt.
Which I think,
And that's
the
it.
way it's entertaining the way to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, also,
But
in general, also, Vince Vaughn, surprisingly good in this film.
Vince Vaughn's always good.
Yeah, people just give him shit.
Well, he's a very good actor, but he always plays those like just doofy
To
guys.
be fair, also, if I was a wrestling coach, that'd be me. Dipshit, are you moving?
Yeah. What else? It just so many things about this movie make me not want to ever see it again.
Yeah.
and I genuinely don't understand how it got such high ratings.
I don't either. Again, I don't think this is an atrocious or objectively horrible movie.
Maybe it's our knowing of what happened.
I think a lot of my breaking points are when I know it's wrong.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's a lot of it where I go, like, the Page stuff, like, if I didn't know those are the truth, I don't know if I'd care the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. And maybe that's why I don't think it's a very good movie, is because I know what happened. And you can easily go back and watch those NXT matches.
Mm.
And her run as champion there.
Mm.
And yeah, it's just like, I understand what they were going for, right, with the 4 girls that they brought in.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's very much what was going on in the WWE at the time. And still kind of is, which is weird to think
but,
about.
Like, you say it kind of is, but, like, the only examples, I don't know if I could point to, like, in recent time is what, Carmella and the Iconics?
What, people that weren't already wrestlers?
Yeah, they're for looks.
Oh, they're for look. The Iconics are not there for looks.
You don't think so?
No. Like, obviously the Bellas were there for
right,
looks.
but, like, Carmella's still there.
Like, current
It's
roster... Carmella. Hold on. I don't even know who's on the roster anymore.
I think current roster at this point, anyone who's there for looks is gone, almost.
Let's see. Women's roster. Natalia.
No. Really?
She's not a great wrestler anymore.
Was she ever?
Yeah. She's got talent.
Okay.
She's just not doing great. Mickie James.
God almighty, we can get rid of Mickie James. I'm okay getting rid of her. Speaking of...
Liv Morgan.
Okay, Liv Morgan. I'll agree with you on Liv Morgan.
Alexa Bliss.
She's not bad, though.
She's not bad, but let's be real. Like,
she was a guy, she'd been gone up.
if it wasn't for how she looks, she would not be...
basically running the women's division.
Yeah. Well, here. WWE Superstars.
I'm on the Wikipedia, it's showing active rosters.
Let's see. Current superstars. Alexa Bliss, we already mentioned. Alicia Fox.
Get rid of her.
She's there for a reason. She's there for a market. It's not us, but she's there for a market.
She's also...
Yeah, the Iconics are not there.
I know the Iconics. The
Because
Iconics
it
are actually wrestling past too. Like the Iconics are legitimate, like wrestlers, like pre like anything.
Yeah.
Also, I think there are some. I also think they
Carmella,
might be the
yes.
best wrestlers on like at least one. They're like on SmackDown. They're just one of the best wrestlers. Period.
Dana Brooke
Yeah,
is definitely on there
sorry.
for looks.
So
She's a terrible
I'm gonna
wrestler.
say it. I think on SmackDown side of the roster, some of the SmackDown wrestlers are just higher than most of the guys for females. Like
Yeah.
I think like Becky Lynch and like Charlotte Flair are like just some of the best wrestlers.
Yeah. Liv Morgan, we mentioned. Lana is there for a look.
Mm-hmm.
Mandy Rose is there
I
for
think
a look.
Zelina Vega is there for a look.
Yes, Maurice is there for a look, but she's
Maurice
not
isn't really there.
really a
Maurice
wrestler.
is also at this point. It gets weird when they're actually married. Like that's when it gets just weird. Of like,
Yeah.
at what point is it just Maurice just being like, I'm just gonna be here?
Yeah. Speaking of which, did you see that it's pretty much confirmed that Dean's leaving after Mania?
I thought we knew that.
Well, we did, but then apparently there was a rumor that he might be coming back, but now it's pretty much confirmed that he isn't.
It's also
That could lead to some weird stuff with Renee.
it also gets interesting though of stuff like now. We have like Roman Reigns is back, and like now Fastlane's gonna be the last time ever the Shield in theory performs together. Which
Yeah.
is so interesting. Of like, that was the Shield's moment, and like now he's back as Ambrose leaves.
Yeah.
Also,
I was gonna say Tamina for her look, but there's only one reason she's still employed at WWE.
can we just get rid of Tamina, please?
No, because if you get rid of Tamina, I think WWE goes down
God damn it.
because she is Jimmy Superfly Snuka's niece or daughter. Daughter. So she knows everything that he did and everything that Vince let him do.
Mm-hmm.
And if you just release her and she didn't agree to it, there's going to be so many lawsuits.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that I agree with what she's going to do. I know it's going to happen. And it's just, you just got to take it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know it's going to happen, so just get it over with. Yeah, so.
Nice. Are you thinking we should take a legally mandated sponsor break, and we'll come back and we'll talk about whatever the hell that movie we watched was?
Hey, I'll tell you what, if I'll put it to the listeners, they can email in about ads. If we were to run a Patreon and a tier was no ads, would they pay for it?
Okay. That'd be the SWW show at gmail.com, or AJ, what's your personal email address and home address?
No, you're
Pennsylvania
not going to
Avenue,
get
Washington D.C.
that. 1600
SWW
Pennsylvania
show.
Avenue, Washington, D.C. I forget what the zip code is. But yeah. Mike, who are our sponsors right now? Who have we got?
Anchor.
I know we've got
Anchor
Flipboard
and,
and
Anchor and Flipboard are current ads running. We're in current conversation with Pornhub. By that I mean I tweeted at them.
You know, I hope it would be hilarious if we got it.
AJ.
The only thing I would ask is that we get a premium account out of it.
What do you get in a Pornhub premium account? Do you think, or from personal experience?
Do you actually want to know?
Yes, because I actually don't know.
I've only ever used one because they give them out at Valentine's Day and something else. Like they give you a free week.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. They have like, so the weird thing is Pornhub has kind of become this like Netflix almost.
What?
So like studios, instead of you like having a like a Brazzers account and what's another one? Bang Bros account. Like they have the scenes that they have on their own website.
Okay.
They'll put up on Pornhub, but they're locked behind premium.
Interesting.
Yeah, so maybe it's not necessarily like the full library or the most recent scenes.
How much do you think? Like, how many people do you think Pornhub has paying a month for premium? You
Millions.
honestly think so?
Dude, they do insane numbers for traffic.
Traffic,
Like,
I agree, but the premium, who's paying?
I mean, I think it's only what, like $10 a month? I say only. Like all these $10 a month services add
I'd
up.
love to
but-
be the accountant who goes, let me get this straight. You have Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hulu, CBS All Access, HBO, Showtime, and Pornhub.
Yeah.
And the guy on the other end goes, should I drop Netflix?
I mean, honestly, I
On
would.
the list.
of that list, I would drop
CBS
Netflix
or
and Showtime and CBS, and
you only need HBO like twice a year.
I've got HBO and Hulu.
I have Hulu because I have Spotify. I have Amazon
Yeah.
Prime because every
Well, I guess yeah.
but everyone has Amazon. I don't even
Right.
Amazon's not on the same list
Yeah.
to me because like yeah, you just have Amazon now.
Like the value of Amazon is actually really surprisingly
Also,
good.
I have an Amazon credit card and I get extra bonuses if I'm a Prime member with my credit card.
Yeah.
So like I actually lose money if I don't have Prime
There's a reason for you to
because it jumps me from like
have that.
it jumps me from like 2% cashback to 5% cashback on some purchases, which means and I inherently actually save money being a Prime member.
Yeah, and I think don't you get a bonus when you renew your membership?
I don't know if it's a bonus. Like it still counts as me spending money on Amazon, so I get 5% back. Any Amazon money, I get 5% back.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if they did like a bonus when you renewed your Prime membership. I think they used to, but they may not anymore.
Also, there's some weird stuff with Prime that I don't know what it is. You get some weird Whole Food bonuses.
Yeah, you get bonuses at Whole Foods and
Some gas station, I thought.
maybe there was something else.
It's weird. One day I went through that list and I was like, what the hell don't I get?
Well, and then now there's a pill company that Amazon owns.
Of course.
Like we saw it in an ad on TV, and it was like, Pillbox and Amazon. I forget what it was actually called.
Isn't IBDB an Amazon company?
On IMDb, yeah.
And also Box Office Mojo, I thought was too.
Well, yes and no, kind of, because Box Office Mojo was technically an IMDb
I didn't know,
property,
okay.
and then once Amazon bought IMDb,
So it might still be
Box Office Mojo
it might still be an IMDb company technically from legal purposes.
Yeah. Well, no, it would be an Amazon company.
But like you still have those sub parents.
Yeah, but if anybody's going after them legally, Amazon would be the ones to support
Also,
them.
can we talk about how bad? So I just pulled up Box Office Mojo. Lego Movie 2 has not broken $100 million in 2019. Oh my bad. Worldwide, it's 154. That's it.
It'll make a ton of money on home release. Also, it was released in a weird window.
But like, it's just to the point where like this, I didn't realize how bad of a year it's been.
I also totally forgot about Wreck-It Ralph 2. And now the ads are coming around for it on digital and Blu-ray. I'm like, oh yeah, I never saw that.
Yeah. It's I don't know. Pixar movies at this point, I'm like, I know they're all inherently good. I just have to want to care about the property, or I'm not going to watch it.
Yeah. Well, and I want to watch it because they do a lot of the fun references. And they do them fun, not like the Ready Player One where they just beat you over the head with it.
I'm going to say it also. The idea of Ready Player One is generic sci-fi. I don't know why people don't understand that.
It's just stupid.
So, AJ, the
So,
46 movie right now on Box Office Mojo worldwide only made $200 in the theater. That means if we could act real quick, we could be in the top. We could be in the list.
Oh, remember, we've had
Like,
this
we could-
discussion multiple
I think
times.
if we tried, we could be on the list. Because what?
Like, we would only have to, like, we could do what's that, the service that you can, like, rent out the movie
Right.
theaters? Like, if we did that and you got 2 movie theaters, like, you would be pretty high up on
That's
that
what
list.
I mean.
Because you figure at national average is $9 a seat.
Mhm.
So you really only need 20 seats. realistically, you'd have more than that, but you need to sell 20 seats to get on that
So you just
list.
invite your friends and family.
Yeah. Well, no, you just do that site and set it so that you need to sell 20 tickets, and then it goes, then it goes, and boom, you're on that list.
See? I'm just saying. You talk about this Patreon thing?
You just
I invite you.
you just have to find a theater that works with that site. I forget what it's
There's
called.
for sure
but-
theaters in Chicago area that does it.
Oh yeah, well, when Laser Team from Rooster Teeth first came out, that's how they did the theatrical release. Was you had to sign up on the site, and then it generated like, oh, there's this much interest in the Grand Rapids area. Okay, then they talk to a theater
Well, like,
and see if they
'cause
can
they're like,
get
we
it.
have guaranteed X number of tickets. And most theaters would be like,
Right.
I can do a showing.
Yeah. The thing of it is, in Michigan, at least, by me, the only showing was down in Kalamazoo, which is an hour away, and it was at the Alamo Draft House.
Ooh.
So, like, it wasn't worth it for me to go down there because not only is it, 2 hours round trip to go see a hour and a half movie that I was gonna watch in 5 days through YouTube Red anyway. It was also like a $15 ticket.
Mm-hmm. So anyway.
And since they released it on YouTube Red basically day and date, I just watched it on that for free because I signed up for the free month for that movie. And it's just been a $10 recurring charge.
So you know now what it's time for, right?
Now it's time to talk about Marissa Tomei as a stripper, Mickey Rourke's ass, and what else?
So AJ, I'm gonna start this conversation up by blowing your mind, okay? This is the first time I've ever watched a movie in multiple sittings in my life.
What do you mean? Like you've seen
No,
it
no,
multiple
I've never
times?
split a
or-
movie. Like I didn't have time this week to like cut out like an hour and a half or 2 hours, whatever it was.
That's not super
I have
surprising.
never, in my life, ever done that before.
I mean, it's not surprising because you had to watch it.
Mhm.
Like if I was in that situation, I just watch however much I can and then just never
But
watch the
so
end.
interesting. 'Cause I've legitimately never done that. It's just the thing I've never done.
Well, probably because you've either been in the situation where you just watch however much you
Mhm.
can, or you've had that
Right.
time.
But like, there's people who like do it all the time. I'm like, I don't understand people.
Yeah, sometimes my brother does that. He'll come home after work and watch an hour of a movie, then go up and go to bed, and then watch the rest of it
And I'm
some
like,
other
I don't
time.
understand.
But the thing of it is, like, I'll watch him as he's watching the movie, and he's on his phone on Snapchat the entire
Right,
time.
so you're like, so what's the point?
So he's not even watching the movie. It's like, why? I get that it's background noise, but why even do
Mm.
that?
So the wrestler. Where do you want to begin?
A very good movie.
I'll give you a very good movie. I'll give you that. I don't know if I love it, but I think it's a very good movie.
It's like it's a tough.
I think
movie.
it's a good journey, not a good story.
Yeah, the story's
It's
not
a
that
cool
great.
journey, and like I like how it's like the mockumentary style is the best way. Like that thing of like the shaky cam and like it's all on him.
Well, it feels real. It doesn't feel like
Yeah.
a movie. It feels like you're there. Yeah. My first note. So all my notes for this are in chronological order because I could stop the movie and write it down. The opening is a great way to show the decline for these old wrestlers' career. You know, the posters of him being the champion, and then fade out of the credits into Mickey Rourke sitting in a child's seat at a middle school, like getting ready to wrestle in a middle school gym.
Mm. How much do you think they make on like those weird weekends? A couple $100?
Like realistically, because I know roughly what like some of those indies pull in, and they get paid like from the card, right? So if we take out merch sales, which drive a lot of
Right.
these indie wrestlers, if we take that out, if it's just gate draw, they make like $20 in a hot
Wait,
dog.
really?
Yeah,
Oh my god.
these guys make no money whatsoever. It's why they do like 4 shows in a day,
God.
and then they're still living in a trailer because they can't afford anything else.
That's wow. Like I knew it was bad, but like
Oh, it's terrible. Like, unless you can get on like decently sized cards and get your name out there. Like, look at I don't know if you know him, but Joey Ryan. Do you know who Joey
No.
Ryan is? Okay, so Joey Ryan is an indie wrestler and does fairly well for
Okay.
himself. But until he got his name out there, he was the same way. You know, he was wrestling in bingo halls, making $20 and whatever he could sell of T-shirts. But now, like, he's a full-time indie wrestler. He can do whatever he wants. He can charge whatever he wants. Like, Chuck Taylor is the same way. Like, you know, a lot of the guys that are coming up in WWE right now were the same way 10 years ago. Like, you know, the Young Bucks, career-long indie wrestlers. You know, they could just walk in. The Young Bucks could have literally walked into any promotion, probably including WWE, and said, "This is how much we want to show up for
and
one night,"
it would happen.
and they would get it. Like, no questions asked. Like, yeah, once you're a famous indie wrestler, you can usually do fairly well. But if you're a no-name, you're working 3 different jobs, wrestling 5 times a week,
God.
living out of a van, living out of the same van that everyone has, that 80s GMC or Chevy 1500 van. Like, my second note is literally every washed up wrestler has the same van. It's some form of that GM van in the 80s.
So what's your next note?
Mickey Rourke was probably the perfect choice to play the Ram.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Mickey, who would be actually better?
I don't know. I don't think anybody else has the look of somebody that looks like a washed up wrestler.
That's true.
Because he kind of is a washed up wrestler. Like, he was a kickboxer or something like that. He was an MMA of some sort, off and on in the 80s and
Okay.
90s, while he was acting. He's lived a very weird life.
It's also because he's had very few big roles. He's a
Yeah, he doesn't make a ton of money off acting. Who else would be good? Before he passed, Roddy Piper.
yeah, but like, yeah. Any actual
But I think if you do that, you have to do his
Right.
story. Like, I don't know of Josh Brolin.
yeah, see, he would be an interesting pick. I could see Josh Brolin actually; it's in his wheelhouse.
What's his name? The guy that shit. He's in the news because of Star is Born, because he was not the original, but he was the most recent actor.
The guy who plays Bradley Cooper's part,
Yeah. Sam
Fisher.
No.
Seagal.
But that guy. Steven Seagal would be
Fascinating.
probably pretty bad. It would be fascinating, but it would be terrible.
You know the other
Um,
terrible movie, but we all want to see is Schwarzenegger in the role.
Sam
Oh,
Elliott
okay.
is the guy's
We all
name.
want to see Schwarzenegger in that role, though. Could you imagine?
He would be, yeah. I think if Sam Elliott was gonna do it, he would have to put on some weight.
I don't know if Sam. I don't know. I can't see Sam Elliott as much.
Like, I don't know if he can get much bigger than he is, but if he was gonna be that, because like he's got that weathered look.
But he has a weathered like rancher look. He's never weathered like his modern look. Does never weathered wrestler look. That was my issue.
Yeah, he could have been like a promoter.
You. 10 years ago, he probably could have. I probably agree with you in a lot more. Now, I don't think he can.
Well, the wrestler's almost
That's
10 years
true,
old,
but, like,
so. DDP would have been pretty good.
Okay? I have a wild card pick.
But then we get into the thing of if you use a wrestler, you kind of have to.
I have a
do
good
that.
wild card for you. Ready this one? John Hamm.
Can John Hamm bulk up? I know he can get cut, but can he bulk
I
up?
thought he bulked up for some roles.
I know he can put on the pounds.
That's what I mean. If he could put on the pounds, I think he could be great at it.
I think he would then, though, have to, gain the weight, but then get that in muscle weight, not just, not Christian Bale, Dick Cheney.
But John
weight.
Hamm is like an amazing actor.
Yeah. But he's too, like, that would be a lot of makeup work to get him to have that weathered look. Like, Mickey Rourke just naturally has that
Mickey
weathered
Rourke,
look.
they just went, don't shower
Sam
tonight,
Elliott
please.
has that look.
That's all they said. They didn't tell him he just showed up in his normal clothes. They went, it's good enough.
Yeah. Sam Elliott has that weathered look. Like, there's not a lot of work you would have to do for them in that department. What's a good one? Josh Brolin wouldn't need a lot of work. The guy that plays the dude.
Oh.
What's his face? What's his name?
I know what you're saying. The dude. Fuck. Jeff Bridges?
Yeah. Because he did the True Grit movie. He could have done it.
No.
I don't know how good he would have
we're
been,
going
but
down
he
this
could have
road
done
then. Steve Buscemi.
Yeah.
Can you picture that version of this movie?
I think Steve Buscemi and Sam Elliott have the same problem where they're too lanky.
Also, Steve Buscemi can't...
And it would just be way too hard for them to put on
Can Steve
that kind
Buscemi
of
honestly
muscle
be in a
mass.
serious role? You think so? Like, non-ironically? That's my issue. He can...
I think he's got the talent.
But, like, it's like the Christopher Waltz thing. Christopher Waltz can be in serious roles. Like, he was a Bond villain. But you always picture him...
It's
Christoph.
Christoph. It's not Christopher. It's Christoph.
But you know what I'm saying? But I always picture him more in the sense of, like, Inglourious Basterds. Like, that type of role. Like, he's the inherently, like, sarcastic prick. Less so of the, like, pure maniacal without a sense of sarcasm to it. And this role doesn't fit that.
Yeah. I mean, actors are meant to surprise us, right? So, like... I don't think there's very few other guys, though, that fit the role like Mickey Rourke fit the role.
I'll give you that. I think Mickey Rourke probably was your best pick.
Schwarzenegger, Stallone. Like, those guys, the problem is, if you were just going to write this movie but have them play the role, like, they're not good enough actors.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Stallone is just meathead, like... Because this role, like, it took some delicate acting.
It did.
Like,
There were moments I almost think he went too far. Like when he put his hand in the cheese grinder. I think that was a little too much acting.
I like that, though. It's just him flipping out of, like... You know what? This is how I'm gonna go.
That's a little too much, and, no, the part that's cringy in the sense of I don't want to watch it is the fucking razor blade.
Why didn't
I
you
don't
want to
know.
watch that?
It was interesting because at first I understood now it's part of his act, but in the moment I was like, is he trying to? In my head, I thought it was either his act or he's trying to fake an injury on purpose, like and not from a to the crowd for a different reason.
I keep forgetting that you didn't watch a lot of old wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Like that happened in every
Really?
match. Every time a guy took a shot to the head, took a couple shots to the head, they went down for 20 seconds and then they came up and their face was just covered in blood. Like Ric Flair made millions on that exact move. Dusty Rhodes, same way. There's a lot of Japanese guys. Like you can tell the guys that bladed a lot because you look at their foreheads and they don't move because it's all scar tissue.
God.
My next note is wrestler did the in-ring one shot 8 years before Creed. Like it didn't do the full one shot that Creed did. But you know, Creed got all this praise for that, the one shot in the ring. But they did the same thing 8 years previous. I'm not saying they did it better, but they did it before them. My next note is Aunt May as a stripper equals gold.
Can't argue with that. Can you imagine telling someone that's going to be Aunt
then
May?
my notes jump. That would be a very, like, having that conversation, right? Like, you know, you invent a time travel machine and you only get one
That'd be
use.
one of the best.
And it's to go back to the premiere of The Wrestler, and as you're walking out, tell somebody, hey, you know the Spider-Man movies? Yeah, in 9 years they're gonna make another one, and the stripper is gonna be Aunt May.
They'd be like, Sony's going to make another Marvel movie, and you're like, we need to talk.
Yeah, so then my notes jump a little bit in the time frame. I really like the CZW tie-in. Like, if they were gonna, obviously, do you even know what CZW is? Like,
No.
so CZW is the American version of deathmatch wrestling. Like, every one of their matches are people jumping through tables covered in barbed wire, you know, hitting each other over the back with light tubes. It's just, you know, violence for glory, basically. And that's what they built their shtick on. I believe it stands for Combat Zone Wrestling. That's what CZW stands for. And it's, you know, these guys that, it's a brotherhood, right? It's the deathmatch brotherhood. These guys can barely walk, but once they get into the ring, like, something just clicks in their body, and then they're flown in the ring, and they're taking, you know, glass panes to the back, and, you know, thumbtacks, and the staple gun, which is an actual thing that they do.
God.
Dude, you want to look into some weird shit. Look into Japanese deathmatch wrestling and then American deathmatch wrestling. The Japanese is a little more insane. But just look up deathmatch wrestling. It's incredible. There's actually pretty good Vice Sports on CZW. And that's on YouTube. I think if you just look up Vice Sports CZW, it comes up. My next one is Dolores from Westworld was a good choice for his daughter because she's a very good actress.
The daughter thing was weird to me in the sense of, like, I understand, like, why it would be in the sense of realistic, but, like, the instant aggression from her and then the instant forgiveness from her felt weird.
Yeah, there were same with fighting with my family, right? Like, they definitely took a time jump. I almost wonder if there's a deleted scene there that we didn't see that's Like maybe explains
It could
that,
be.
but
I could see that, but it just felt,
yeah.
I think you might agree. It feels too much of a.
Yeah. Um, my next one was I was surprised by the Ring of Honor tie-in.
Were you?
Well, only because current Ring of Honor would have never done
Okay.
this. So my note continues to say this must have been right before their rebranding. Because now, like, Ring of Honor is very much just that. Like, it's honorable wrestling. Like, which is weird to say, but you know, each match starts with a handshake. Each match ends with a handshake. Like, it's very much like these two guys are going out, but they have respect for each other. Like, so it's kind of weird that they put their name on something that also had a CZW match. Just because current ROH is the furthest thing you could get from that.
Interesting. Okay.
My last note is I forgot how much of this took place in a strip club. A good third of this movie takes place in the strip club.
That is true.
And then I didn't put it down, but the ending shot is just a perfect wrap up for him. Like he goes out, he dies, but he's going out doing what he loves.
And I agree with you, but like to me, it feels like a weird thing to like completely end on. Because to me, I wish we explained more of like, so what does this mean?
Would you rather have that scene continued on? You see him drop the ram jam or whatever his finisher is, him have his fatal heart attack, and then it ends?
No, that's true.
Like, I think it went out in a beautiful way in the sense that it leaves a little up to the imagination, even though you deep down know exactly what's about to happen. Like, you know he's going to have another heart attack there in the ring, but they end it before he can. So you're like, oh, well, maybe he, there's some hope. Maybe he didn't die. Maybe he did get to live his happy ever after life.
The hope.
Even though you definitely know that, no, he probably dies on impact.
Do you think he dies?
I don't know. Did you have a bunch of notes for it?
I've gone through most of my thoughts. I enjoy the movie. I don't. It's again. I think I kind of stick with. It's a cool journey. I don't know if there's. It's a journey that on paper shouldn't work, but it's a cool journey in practice. It is. I started reading stuff like on like how realistic people talk about it, and like you have like wrestlers be like, nah, this seems pretty legit. Like it's very interesting of like actual like major wrestlers like, no, the downfall is a little extreme, but like he goes, no, this is pretty like how it feels.
Yeah, I forget who it was. So my gap in wrestling was a little bit after when the movie came out. So like I was still kind of into it when that came out. So you heard the stories of wrestlers seeing this and like not necessarily going full PTSD flashbacks, but like they were kind of wigged out by like, all right, you guys don't have the backing of WWE or any major promotion. Like TNA was kind of big at the time, but they're not tied to this either. So they were asking the questions of like, okay, how did you do this? How did you guys get this so right? And then I stopped watching wrestling for 7 years, and then
And now you're back.
got back into it a little bit, and I haven't watched wrestling in almost an entire year. Realistically, I know we watched Survivor Series,
But like actually though.
Yeah, actually sat down and watched multiple weeks. I haven't. in years. Like I watched WrestleMania this year. I think I follow NXT a little closer than I do the main roster. Which that might change now that they're pulling up a lot of people that I liked in NXT.
Like Nikki Cross?
So Sanity was a really good idea in NXT, and I think that's the only place that it worked.
Yeah.
And if you were going to pull them up, you've got to pull them up as Sanity, not whatever they did for whatever reason. Also, have you heard the news about WrestleMania 36?
You mean in Tampa?
And
You mean Hulk Hogan? Of course I watched Hulk Hogan's press conference.
Did he genuinely do something?
He was the host of the 2-hour press conference. That's not a joke. He hosted the sucker for about half of it. He'd be like, and introducing the next wrestler coming to talk about it. And he walked in, literally doing his thing, Zach. And he's like, trust me, he did his whole opening shtick. What's up, brother?
I'm curious to see.
He did everything.
I'm curious to see how long his good graces with WWE are going to last. But no, so a lot of the things I've seen are, since Mania is going to be in Tampa, they have to bring up Kairi Sane and Io Shirai.
So?
Well, do you know their gimmick? It's the two Japanese girls in NXT. They were in the Rumble, the Women's Rumble. They were the ones dressed up as pirates. So they have to do something with the ship.
Oh, God.
Because for those that don't know, Raymond James Stadium in Tampa Bay, Florida, the Buccaneers play there, and they have a pirate ship at one end of the stadium. If they don't do something with that for their entrance, it'll be the biggest waste of a venue since Levi's Stadium.
Yeah.
Which actually, it'll be a bigger waste of a venue than Levi's Stadium. But yeah. Don't even get me started on the Levi's Stadium WrestleMania. It was just a disaster. Well, I'm trying to think. Was that Mania the Mania where Seth won? Where he cashed in?
Yes.
So it had a good moment. But just the venue, like, WrestleMania was the first venue for Levi's Stadium. And it then basically destroyed the field for that football season. Like, because the grass hadn't gotten, like, fully seeded yet. And then they start throwing down all the stuff for Mania. And, like, obviously when they go into a football stadium, they can set up, like, almost a month in advance. And that's what they did. They were actually setting up Mania while the stadium was being finished.
Because you could do that, I can see how they do that, depending where it is being finished or whatever.
Yeah, I think they were finishing up, like, some of the, like concession stands and bathrooms and stuff like that. So, like, it wasn't stuffed out on the field. But yeah, they rushed it, and the grass wasn't seeded properly, and that entire season there were just players from, the Niners and then the visitors every week. Like, the grass sucks, Like, there's weird divots in the grass and all the stuff that it never, could fix, and all these issues. Yeah. Like, that venue's just a stupid venue. Its location and everything is just stupid. But, yeah, it was just a waste of a venue. Like, I get they want to do the new venues. Which, by the way, why hasn't there been a WWE pay-per-view in Detroit yet?
So Chicago's getting one next year?
Yeah.
Survivor Series.
Survivor Series, right.
I'll go.
Like, why haven't they gone to the Little Caesars Arena?
Because it's called the Little Caesars Arena.
Well, they did a show at the Smoothie King Center. Like, shut up about the stupid name. Like, Detroit is a huge, like, there's a lot of history in Detroit when it comes to wrestling. You know, the famous, well, two of Stone Cold's most famous vehicle interactions were in Detroit. The beer truck was in Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know the beer truck?
I've heard of it.
So the thing of it was, Kurt Angle, I think, a couple weeks previous, drove a truck to ringside and had a milk hose.
Oh, I've seen this. Is this with the beer? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely know this.
Stone Cold pulls up a beer truck and sprays everybody down with beer. So that's the one. Then also, Stone Cold drove a Zamboni
I knew that
to
one.
ringside. Jumped on top of the Zamboni and then jumped into the ring from the Zamboni. Proudly featuring the Red Wings logo on the side. But yeah, there's a bunch of history in Detroit when it comes to like big match stuff. So it's just kind of surprising that they haven't done anything there yet. They're obviously not going to do a Mania because it's not big enough. But you know, a Rumble would be pretty good. Survivor Series.
Yeah. Survivor Series, you're
SummerSlam.
telling us to have at least 2.5 million people. I apologize.
Is that something
No, I
they've
was
actually
making up a
said?
number
Or...
that fit Chicago.
Yeah. Have you heard? This is very much internet rumors, but since they did a show at the Phoenix Baseball Stadium, whatever they're calling it, Diamondbacks Arena, whatever they call it, people are suggesting that they will be going to Milwaukee
Ooh.
for something and doing something there at Miller.
It's not.
Because now that they've done something at a baseball stadium, they're definitely looking to do that again.
Because like they go to Fiverr for like Raws and Smackdowns.
Well, yeah, there you go, right? Like, there's your arena for the Raw and SmackDown
Right.
and
So
NXT.
you can set that up as you're doing your
They could even do Mania there and have Hall of Fame.
Than the other one, because they're close enough to each other where.
Yeah. Well, and then, you know, people are talking about, okay, where are they going to do Raw? Where are they going to do SmackDown? Where are they going to do NXT? Like, Amelie's close, but it's a good 40 minutes drive from Amelie to Raymond James. They could do something at the Dome, whatever they're calling it now, the Tropicana Dome, where the Rays play. But I don't think they would, because that's way too big. You know, they'll probably do NXT in Orlando. Makes sense. They could do SmackDown in Orlando. The thing you have to remember is, at that point, SmackDown is going to be live on Fridays.
Right. When does that kick in? This fall?
Yes. Or early
I thought it was
next
this year, but I don't know when.
It's whenever Fox
Right.
takes over. It might be
So
October.
what's gonna be interesting about that is
Um,
ratings in theory should drop because it's a Friday, but they should also increase because it's Fox. So it's this weird
Yeah.
give and take of I bet you the ratings stay relatively stagnant.
it'll be interesting. And depending on what time they air it at, right? If it stays in the
So,
8
yeah,
o'clock time slot, it might actually do fairly well because that will be everybody's getting home. It's prime time on a Friday.
Right, I was thinking that. Yeah.
Like, if you're going to do any show in prime time, it's either a Monday or a Friday.
But it's gonna change the dynamics of like, because the whole point of when they're back to back nights, like dynamics of them attacking each other felt if better.
Well, and the weird thing is, this will be, as far as I know, the first, at least from what I can remember, the first time that SmackDown won't be on Tuesday.
SmackDown's been on other days.
No, because even when it was on Thursday, it was still taped on Tuesday.
Oh, so you mean like straight, like just...
So, yeah, so Raw was
It's always
Monday
been Monday
night,
Raw.
and then Tuesday night was the SmackDown taping. Now that it's live, it's SmackDown Live.
You might be right then.
But yeah, SmackDown always used to be Tuesday. And in fact, the biggest one I can remember is Charlotte botched a promo on SmackDown where she references Raw. And she goes, "When you attacked me last night," which technically it was the previous night, the night that they were recording the promo. But since it aired on Thursday, people are like, "Wait, what?"
And WD would not going to retake that.
No, I was actually at a SmackDown where they had to retape something. It was weird.
Say.
Because the energy, like, instantly died.
Like, wait, what? Because part of that stuff of we all know it's fake, but part of it in the moment is they pretend it's not, and, like, staying in character kind of helps.
Well, and the weird thing is they tape it like it was live.
Really?
Yeah, so when I went to... I'm trying to remember, it was the last SmackDown before the brand split draft. The most recent brand split.
2014?
I think so. It was the last SmackDown where it was SmackDown. Like, then it went to the split and all that. So you saw some of the Raw talent on SmackDown. And, like, they did the commercial breaks in the entrances. So, like, the lights would go down, the music would go down for the commercial. Which, obviously, there wasn't one, right? Like, they could have just cut it. But they didn't. And then, so, like, the music comes back up. I can actually remember who it was. It was Emma. That was the most prominent one I remembered. The lights went down, the music went down. It was like a minute and a half, then everything comes back up. And then it's her, like, you know, finishing up her entrance. It was the weirdest thing. I was deafened by Ryback's entrance. Who else? This was still when they had pyro.
Okay.
But it wasn't all the flashy pyro. It was mainly just like the bangs, the firecrackers going off. So like the Usos entrance was pretty cool. Who else was on that show? Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, I believe, were the dark match.
That's a match.
Well, no, okay, I don't know if it was Seth, but it was definitely Dean. And it may have been... I can't remember who it was. John Cena was on that show. So, of course, the crowd goes wild. But, yeah. This would be the first time, as far as I can remember, that SmackDown wasn't either live or taped on a Tuesday. And I'm sure if there's some wrestling historian that listens to this show, they will email us or tweet at me. Well, actually, in 1995, SmackDown was live on Friday nights.
As you'll see.
To which I will respond, I don't care.
There you go. So it is late. I think it's time for us to bid adieu.
Yeah.
So on these closing thoughts, AJ, I think we both agree, Wrestler, fine movie.
To me, Wrestler's probably the best movie, the old movie we've watched.
Ooh, I might agree with you.
If not the best movie overall. Did we do one for Into
No.
the Spider-Verse? Okay. Then The Wrestler might be the best movie we've watched for Movie Club.
Maybe. And then we have Fight with My Family, which is an okay movie, objectively not the worst we have seen.
Oh, by far it's not the worst. I can think of a clear two
Blade
others.
Runner and Widows.
Widows is one of them. Let's see, hold on. There's someone was Blade Runner. Mad Max. What was the new movie for
Was that
Mad
when we
Max?
saw? Was that when we saw
BT.
White Boy Rick?
No, White Boy Rick was episode 1. BT. What would that have been?
A new movie?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, make me do actual work. BT. What do you think it is? I'm pulling stuff up now.
Then it
Bad
was
Times. Bad Times is a fine movie.
Oh,
It is not.
El Royale. Yeah. Wrestler, I would say, is
I
for
think I
me, at least,
enjoy Bad
better.
Times more, but I understand what you want to argue. If you want to argue subjectively better, I'll give it to you, but I enjoy Bad Times more.
IJ.
Italian Job.
Italian Job. Ooh.
Italian Job is pretty damn good.
And then Star Trek.
Right?
Ooh. So our top 3 are Italian Job, Star Trek, and
Yeah,
Wrestler.
I'd probably agree with that as like a show-wide top 3.
And then in 4th is Lego Movie
Yeah,
2.
okay.
Well, it's the best new movie we've seen.
Oh,
Ooh, Mad Max is in there. Mad Max would be number 4. Then Lego Movie 5.
you know what song I got stuck in my head today thinking of the Lego Movie?
This song is going to get stuck in my head. So that was the only one I was like actively humming as I was walking out of the theater. The only one I looked up though was the Gotham Guys one.
I like no,
Just
I
because
like
it's hilarious.
I'm Not Evil. What?
That one was pretty good, but that one's more you need to
'Cause
see
it's
the
so
video
good.
with it too.
Oh, but there's a little stuff in it like
Yeah,
inconceivable. It's like the like when she's corrected and stuff.
yeah. Which the weird thing is, like, on the soundtrack, they just pulled it straight from the movie. So like all those little like the helper butting in is in there.
Wait, really? Oh my god.
Yeah. I don't know if it's in there for Most Evil. I'm sure it is. But it was definitely in there for Gotham Guys. And it was hilarious to hear the guy like correct her and, you know, his little like digs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Also, before we wrap this up, I need to talk about this. You're not going to care about it at all. But it's just the best because it's the greatest dig I've ever seen in Formula One. So Williams, which is a team that's been around forever, they've been around a good probably 50 years, are by far and away the worst car this year. So Pirelli, who manufactures the tires for Formula One, asked teams to build a special test car because in 2021 there's going to be a whole bunch of new regulations, new engine regulations and new tire regulations. which for a lot of teams that would be seen as effectively cheating because you're building a test car and getting all this data, right, to then use for your 2021 car. Teams agreed that only Williams would be allowed to supply such a car. Engineers worried about unfair advantage, but with Williams apparently being far behind, it would be okay. Yeah, it's the greatest dig of like, everybody going, that would be really unfair. Williams, you guys suck. How about you do it? And they're like, you know what?
That'd be like a couple years ago in football. It'd be like, no one's allowed to take drugs besides the Browns. They take any drugs.
Yeah, like that would be, that would be the NFL saying, you know what, Browns, you want to use steroids? You want to use that? Go for
Bears, it. You could take about a third as many as they do, but yeah.
Actually, no, it would be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, because if you gave the guys on the Browns steroids, they would be a legitimately good team. And like they're a fairly well-run team besides the owner. Like they have the talent that if you gave those guys any sort of performance boost, they would go 16-0, win the Super Bowl, and like break all the records. The Buccaneers are so mismanaged that even if you gave them steroids, they'd get them like mixed up with like Adderall and like syringes of water. And like even if you gave them a performance boost, they wouldn't know how to use it, which is what this would be in this case. Also, this comes on the day where somebody found the greatest Alex Trebek burn ever.
Oh.
Have you seen it?
You can't do that. That is insulting.
No, like he delivered.
Oh, I think the other way around. I was like, you can't do it. Like this is too soon.
No. He was talking to one of the contestants, and she was very into nerdcore rap, and she's explaining it and all that, and he goes at the very end, she's like, they're just rapping about what they like video games and all that stuff, and he goes, so losers. Just straight face, just like if you can picture his delivery and his timing, like he just goes, so losers, and the clip ends.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm like, dude, he knows how to do it.
Roasted by a guy who goes, do you know the answer or not? While playing the Teacup song. And on that note, we'd like to thank you guys for joining us this week, this month, for the movie club of the SWW show. Remember, you can find me on Twitter at Mikey_Maroney. You could find AJ at the #1 wrestling fan of Detroit on Twitter. You can find the show at the SW Show. Remember, subscribe on iTunes or podcast service of choice or Spotify. Leave us a rating; it really helps. Yeah, AJ, you got anything else, people?
Apparently, Vince Carter is coming back for next year. It'll be his 22nd season in the NBA. He's 42 years old.
Not a good age?
No, it's just he's been playing forever.
How old was Michael Jordan when he retired? The actual
Which
retired.
time?
I'm not comparing this guy to Michael Jordan, but I'm just trying to get like a perspective of like when you're the great, when you're the GOAT, what is the line?
Oops, that's not what I wanted. I just want his Wikipedia page. Let's see. He retired, well, I guess technically when he was done with the Wizards was in 2003.
Was that his final one?
Yeah. And he was born in 1963, so he would have been 40.
You know my favorite thing when
So-
people always try to say, are the Bulls good without Jordan? The Bulls have won the ring, was it 5 times, I believe? And every single one of them, okay, but the point is, every ring they ever won belongs to Michael Jordan. Which
Yeah,
you
6
understand
times.
how actually crazy that is, right?
Like, here's the thing, right? Like, is Jordan the greatest of all time?
So
That's a very good debate
him and
between
LeBron,
him. Like,
it's
there's
him,
probably
LeBron
four guys that you
James.
could
But
Kobe and
here's my
Kareem.
argument, okay? Especially with LeBron James and Jordan. The game is so different that they're both the goats of their respective generation, and depending which generation you throw them into would depend who becomes the goat.
Well, it depends on how
But I'm
old
saying you
you
put
are.
both of them in their prime. It depends on which rules they're playing by.
If you put LeBron James in his current frame, 6'6", like 275, and so he was 60 pounds heavier than Michael Jordan. He's also way more
Mm-hmm.
athletic than Michael Jordan ever was. So if you put LeBron at his size prime, in his athletic prime, and Jordan in his athletic prime, but played in
Right.
Jordan's rules, and like LeBron knew the rules, it would be a no contest. LeBron would just drive the lane. Jordan would try to post up on him. LeBron would have 65 pounds on him, just
But
bowl him
here's the
over.
actual question, though, at a certain point. When would he just, his instincts kick in and he'll fuck up because he's on the wrong rule set and then it penalizes him?
Well, like I said, I think if you took them and then just took like the rule set, right? If you put LeBron in the rule set of the 90s before they started to change, like if you put him with like the Bill Lambiers and that Detroit Pistons
Mm-hmm.
team, the team that just basically
Mm-hmm.
punched everybody, um, I think it would take him a second to figure out like, okay, it's much more physical and I can get away
Mm-hmm.
with a lot more. Like he wouldn't be super aggressive on defense because he's not a great defensive player. Neither was Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be real. Um, but on offense, he would just drive the lane and like there's nobody in the '90s that could, except for maybe Shaq,
Shaq's got your back.
that athletically could stand up to
Okay.
LeBron James. Like if you put Jordan in the current rule set, he would foul out
Yeah.
in 10 minutes.
So,
Actually, it depends. Because he's like in his prime, he wasn't very aggressive with, really driving the lane. He would drive, but he was driving into setup defenses and usually maneuvering around them. So he wasn't trying to draw fouls. It would be interesting to see, but I think in the long run, LeBron would win. Only because of the size
and
difference.
because of that, we're gonna get a bunch of hate mail. Remember, send them AJ's way.
I don't know if there's a lot of younger people that listen to this. I was gonna say watch this. Listen to this. They might
Maybe.
agree. Like you can't deny that Michael Jordan is one of the goats.
Okay.
Now, whether is he the GOAT is a little harder to justify because he didn't score like Kareem.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't defend like Kareem. He doesn't have the number of rings that Kareem does. I think Kareem's got 7 or 8. Really, I mean, Bill Russell is the GOAT if you go by rings. He's got 11. Nobody will ever get 11.
No one would get 11.
And like the person I would compare him to is Kobe. Like they were both just arrogant assholes on the court. The difference is Michael was much more reserved, and he still is that way. Like he never gives interviews, and when he does, he seems to be a pretty shy person. Like he doesn't want the limelight. He was just good at what he did, and then he made a bunch of money.
I like it.
I'm not saying he's a bad player. In fact, I've got a pair of Jordan 1s within 4 feet of me.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tweet them and put them up on my Twitter, on my Instagram
Ooh.
as well. I feel old because I don't use the slang for those social media sites. Like, I say I'll put it up on Twitter and I'll put it up on Instagram. I'm gonna put it on the gram. You'll never hear me say that. Like, I said it ironically.
So I'm gonna.
You'll never hear me say
You'll
it
catch me on the flip side of
unironically.
this gram, is what you're saying? Well,
No.
damn right you will. And we will see you guys next month for another episode of the SWW Show. I'll come back and tell you all about the Game Developers Conference. If you see me there, say hi.
Oh yeah, we have
I leave a
GDC
week from
coming up.
today.
That's do a little live show planning. Do you want to do a recording there? Like you record your
We'll
own
see.
solo?
I'll see how I feel. There are some
You can use
nights
your
where I
phone.
don't feel like doing shit like that. There are some nights I might be okay with it. What if I'm just...
You could use
what
your
if I'm
phone.
just-
Do
yeah,
you
I have
have
headphones or whatever.
um,
What if I'm just at like a party and I just start walk around and be like, what's your name? What do you do?
It wouldn't be the first podcast I heard like that. So
Because I've met those people at the parties. You're like, oh, you have a strange backstory. I'm just saying, my goal at GDC is to get one of my professors drunk. I don't think it'd be that hard.
especially if they're lightweights.
No, he's a little bit big crack. But I bet you it's not that hard to do.
Well, they are developers, so they're probably a lot like the film people, where they're just functioning alcoholics.
That makes sense. There are a couple of professions I've heard are full functional alcoholics. It's game developers, lawyers, and doctors. Okay, every
Yeah.
lawyer.
I mean, a lot of the people in the film and TV are less
Drug.
alcohol and more the powder.
So, I'm just saying, I have never
Um,
met a lawyer who's not a functioning alcoholic. And my sister's a lawyer.
I
Oh,
have.
that means they're just not functioning.
No, they're a functioning
Wow.
non-alcoholic. Mainly because they're like a super religious person,
Oh.
so they're not into that whole side of it. But they're a fairly decent lawyer, from what I've heard. Never had to use them. Knock on wood, but yeah. I can't knock on anything in my where I'm currently sitting because I have an IKEA desk, and I can guarantee you there's 0%
Also
wood.
break.
Oh, hold on. I have an X-Acto case.
Nice.
There we go. I have an old school
Nice.
wood
So now,
X-Acto
I'm
case.
gonna let everyone go. Say goodbye, AJ. Adios.
Peace, people.